Another day, another story. The most luxurious mansion in the world, 2022, a look at how the rich live. It's hard to believe that our need for luxury can be so great that we are willing to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on just one home, but it's true. From the most spectacular views to the most advanced amenities, these luxury homes are truly works of art in every sense of the word. We take a look at where and how the most luxurious mansion in the world will live in 2022, and what else this mega mansion has to offer besides great views and insane amenities. Meet Bill Gates. Bill Gates is the founder of Microsoft and one of the richest people in history. He's mostly known for giving away his money through charitable causes like Gates Foundation. When Bill isn't making a speech on how to make America great again, he spends his time with his 3 children and wife Melinda. You may also know him as one of the world's most influential business leaders. At least that's what Forbes says. With an estimated net worth of $78 billion, according to Forbes magazine, Bill Gates was ranked the wealthiest person in the world from 1995 until 2017 when Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos overtook him and became number 1 on the Forbes list of billionaires. Bill lives in this estate that is about 2,700 acres or about 7 miles by 7 miles, which have cost an estimated $150 million. That would be enough money to buy 600 homes in your city. There are lots of things to do outside like golfing, hiking, boating, and horseback riding, just to name a few. Inside you will find 4 bedrooms, each with its bathrooms and walk-in closets. When they first moved into this house, they spent more than a year renovating it so there would be plenty of space for the whole family plus their 6 dogs and 2 cats. I can't even imagine having that many pets. Inside Bill Gates' Xanadu too. Bill Gates is one of the wealthiest people in the world, and with that fortune comes a lot of power. After his family mansion outside Seattle was destroyed by fire, he set out to create his dream home Xanadu too. It took 13 years to complete and cost $45 million. It was designed by a team of architects headed by Robert Frasca and was first used on January 1, 2010. So what does this mansion have? Let's take a look. 12 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, 5 kitchens, 2 pools, tennis courts, wine cellar, garden, conservatory, art gallery. With all these things inside, we're guessing they don't want visitors. That's not surprising considering how much trouble they went through to make sure their house would be secure. They put up cameras, walls, fences, and gates around the entire property to keep unwanted guests away. And did you know the house has its security force? Yes. They have 16 guards who are stationed there 24/7 to protect the Gates residents from intruders. Some other luxuries include huge living room, indoor swimming pool, and just think of how big this thing is. If you were as tall as this building, you could play basketball with someone over 20 miles away. Steve Jobs' home, full details. Since Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, he was a billionaire and believed that those who create wealth should be able to spend it. Jobs reportedly wanted to live in one of San Francisco's smaller neighborhoods where he would not need security, but his wife convinced him otherwise. Jobs and his family are said to have designed a home for themselves that reflects their style, minimalistic, yet luxurious. They began building it in 2009, but Steve died in 2011 before it was completed. Since then, images of its exterior have leaked onto various blogs and websites. Those who have seen the house say that it is truly amazing. It is made up of 4 buildings with floor-to-ceiling glass windows and sliding doors made out of steel. The roof has solar panels on top to provide power for everything in the house, including heating water, cooking food, and other utilities, as well as electricity. Inside, they were said to use every piece of glass they could find to make an open-plan design so there are no walls or obstructions anywhere in sight. This includes even flooring. There are rooms inside the mansion which allow you to look through from one side to another without any interruption. There is also a 2-story library, a large movie theater, and room after room filled with lavish decorations like sculptures and carpets. The outside has been landscaped with bamboo forests that create privacy while still allowing enough sunlight into the property to grow plants. All around there are exotic plants such as banana trees which seem right at home next to modern sculptures. Some people might say that it is ostentatious, but others believe this showcases how Jobs lived his life with simplicity and elegance throughout all aspects of it. Many think that because Jobs spent his entire career telling people what he thought about technology, products, and brands we all know and love today, his decision to build himself the most luxurious mansion in the world does not seem strange at all. He never cared about public opinion, and therefore never seemed to care what anyone else thought of his extravagant lifestyle. When he died, Jobs left behind more than just a legacy, he left behind an example for others who want to live extravagantly in luxury. 7 Secrets Behind Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. Michael Jackson wanted to create a place that would allow him to fulfill his dreams and make a difference in the world. His mansion, Neverland Ranch, has many secrets behind it. Secret number 1, Michael Jackson once claimed that he could talk to animals. Secret number 2, where you eat on this ranch depends on your social standing. Those considered lower class are not allowed into its dining room. Secret number 3, there was an underground cave where children spent time playing arcade games, watching movies, and swimming in the pool. It is unclear how long the secret of Neverland Ranch will be kept from the public. With all of the recent focus on mental health and the struggles faced by people with mental illness, interest in this ranch has increased dramatically. Some want to see it destroyed because they believe it glorifies abuse, while others want to preserve it as a monument to a creative genius who was never given the respect he deserved. What do you think? Should Neverland Ranch continue to exist, or should it be demolished? If you had the chance to visit it for yourself, what would you say? Share your thoughts below. Secret number 4, while no one knows exactly why so many bodyguards were needed on a seemingly innocuous property like Neverland Ranch, one thing is certain: Jackson valued their presence and refused to live without them. Secret number 5, there's a well-known rumor that there's an escape tunnel behind Jackson's large dressing room mirror, but no proof has been found as of yet. Many have speculated about its existence since Jackson's death, but until someone finds evidence supporting it, we can only wonder whether or not there is one. Secret number 6, he also thoughtfully installed red blinking lights inside his toilet so guests wouldn't accidentally injure themselves if they didn't know which washroom to use when visiting him in his home. Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion. Established in 1971, it is considered one of the most significant architectural works of the 21st century and features Playboy's iconic I logo over a stone-columned entrance. Being in the middle of LA made it possible for Hugh Hefner to throw raucous parties with the Hollywood elite. Hefner even has a piano built into his bedroom floor and space for up to 1,000 guests. It is not your average home, but he had visitors from all over the world wanting to get a peek inside its opulence. In 1989, Playboy Enterprises purchased the house next door for $1.05 million and turned it into an entertainment complex with a game room, gymnasium, tennis court, swimming pool, and dining hall so that employees could live on site. Hefner was quoted as saying, "We needed more room because I have too many girlfriends." Despite the 1970s and 1980s heyday, there are no plans to turn the mansion into a hotel or museum. As the original lifestyle company, they are just not interested in turning the property into anything other than a residence. However, you can still take a tour of this famous abode if you pay $50 per person. The website also offers special packages for bachelor/bachelorette parties, weddings, and corporate events where prices start at $500. For those who cannot make it out to Los Angeles, fear not, you can rent out the entire estate for private use. That includes 2 master suites, 13 bedrooms, 25 bathrooms, a karaoke lounge, and a 12-car garage for $900 per night. For those who are rich enough to buy their mansion in Beverly Hills but would rather see how the other half lives instead of being stuck at home alone, Hefner's Manor is worth checking out. If money is not an issue, then spend a weekend partying like Elvis or Marilyn Monroe and walk around these halls like royalty. Paul Allen's Yacht Octopus. Paul Allen's luxury yacht Octopus is one of the most lavish houses afloat. As you might expect, it has 6 decks, a helipad, and 2 submarines that can be used for exploration. Mr. Allen has described it as comfortable enough to host heads of state. There are 2 large ocean view master suites on each deck, perfect for living with his significant other, whom he decided to marry during a stop in China. The yacht also includes a basketball court, pool table, music studio, and a barbershop. It boasts LED lighting throughout the boat, giving it an underwater glow at night. The top deck includes its lounge, which overlooks the bow of the ship, perfect for entertaining guests or just sitting back and enjoying your surroundings. And if that isn't luxury enough, there is a glass-bottom spa pool on the aft deck. For those who prefer their water a little warmer, there is also an outdoor whirlpool. When guests are not being entertained by the games room, they can enjoy views from the sun deck, where they will find 4 jacuzzis, 1 inside and 3 outside. All aboard this floating palace, we're all welcome here. This $200 million craft has a total gross tonnage of 24,661 tons, 27,225 tons, compared to our previous record holder, Roman Abramovich's $1 billion Eclipse, coming in at 19,600 tons, 21,000 tons. If it were compared using our newly implemented international net tonnage measurement, then octopus would hold first place with 9,916 net tons.